Okay, welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Madeline, and eerily beloved, we are gathered here today with
Mom.
Liam.
And Garrett.
Yay! And we're going to be talking about the Oregon Mystery House at the Oregon Vortex. Has anyone heard of that?
No.
This the Gravity Falls house?
Mm-hmm.
I've not heard of it.
Well, we're going to learn about it. Okay, so I'm going to be presenting the story to them since they don't know what it's about, and they're going to be ranking it on a believability scale and then a creepy scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the most creepy and believable, and 0 being they don't believe it and it's not creepy. Everyone got that?
I'm excited.
Okay, wonderful. Altered gravity, optical illusions, wildlife avoidance, dizziness, headaches, and more are all just some of the experiences at the original gravitational hill. Is this a paranormal property, or can science explain away the unusual conditions?
Woo, I'm excited.
Thousands of people annually visit this roadside attraction wanting to experience or debunk the strange occurrences themselves. Located a few miles north of Medford in southern Oregon, in the small town of Gold Hill lies a scientific and quote-unquote unexplainable phenomenon that's gone by many names over the years. Crazy House, Bug House, Nut House, and the Sardine Creek Miners Cabin, but it's most commonly known as the Mystery House of the Oregon Vortex.
So we've driven by there a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, but we've never, have you seen the signs for it?
No.
No.
Oh. It's like right off I-5.
Okay, tell me about it.
Okay, well, long before the site became a roadside oddity, the Takelma tribe were the original residents of the Rogue Valley. Local stories that are said to be passed down from this time claim the area of the vortex was considered forbidden land by the people, where the horses and other animals refused to go. Despite this, the land was regarded as sacred for its spiritual nature, not a place to fear but to be wary of. However, only oral history of their knowledge of this area is known, as the indigenous tribes of Oregon were forcibly removed in 1856 after settlers took over. Miners flocked to the Rogue River Valley in pursuit of gold, and in 1904 an essay office was built by the Old Eagle Mining Company. Sometime in the next decade, a landslide partially knocked the house off its foundation that led to the remaining walls and surfaces of the small house to be warped. The distortions caused by the shifted perspective in the small house, in addition to the surrounding area, baffled locals, and in 1914 drew the attention of prospect William McCullough. The story often told is that while exploring the remains of the old mining outpost, he felt as if his physical reality was being altered within the area, and called his friend, a geologist and engineer from Scotland named John Lister, to further research the site.
I mean, if it's been around for 100 years, then could be something.
Well, allegedly it's been around for longer than 100 years, but it's just been...
Yeah, but like the house itself.
Right. But the spot.
Yeah.
So, John Lister, who's also referred to as John Litster, has a confusing timeline of events before he came to own and allegedly spend the rest of his life dedicated to researching the anomalies of the Oregon Vortex. John Lister was born 30th of April in 1886 in Alva, Scotland, and worked in the booming mining industry until he contracted malaria that then worsened into blackwater fever, forcing him to take a step back when he was 23. Between this period and where he came into ownership of the land in the 1920s is primarily up to speculation due to the lack of census information and potential pseudonyms. Theories about this gap in his history stem from being imprisoned for fraud, stealing upwards of $14,000 from a railway company, a stint with publishing poetry, and that he had a job as an advertising copywriter. So he's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
An article published on July 7, 1932 by Gold Hill News titled Mystery House Miner Wins Crossword Puzzle Prize provides a little more insight into John Lister and how his relationship to the house came to be. Mr. Lister, who's a writer by profession, lives in a cabin high in hills on the left fork of Sardine Creek, where he is seeking relief from tuberculosis. Besides his writing, he spends much of his time at the House of Mystery, working with W.L. Van Houten. Mr. Lister has a placer outfit on Sardine Creek, and the gold in which he secures is an added attraction to tourists who visit the House of Mystery. Mr. Lister contributes articles and stories to many magazines and heads them as the House of Mystery Digging. Okay, so the science behind this spot. The Southern Oregon Heritage magazine in 1996 reported that Lister claimed the vortex was an anti-gravitational electromagnetic field, a compass in a sphere 125 feet across, with half the sphere above ground and the other half below.
Okay.
And at the center of this vortex was the house. Their website claims as another person on a level platform recedes from you towards magnetic south, they appear taller. When they approach you, coming towards magnetic north, they become shorter. This is contrary to laws of perspective as we know it, and must seem to be believed.
These are the videos of like the tour guides like lean forward and
Mhm.
then like they don't fall over.
Mm-hmm. Or they roll a ball and it goes
Yeah.
up, even though the slant is down.
Yeah.
Okay, in an interview from the Oregon Journal in 1937, Lister sums up his observations and findings on the house thus far. The settlers told me that this building was hoodooed, since apparently the law of gravitation fails to operate in it and its immediate vicinity. I found that within the circle of 125 feet in diameter, the brass plumb bob of a surveying instrument was deflected from the perpendicular about 145 degrees. I could have understood this if this power had been exercised only upon iron or steel, or some metal affected by magnetism. But I found that glass, wood, rubber, or any other substance was affected. Though one could not stand upright within this 125-foot area, that a golf ball or baseball thrown up would not return to the hand but was deflected. If I tried to throw the ball over a fence yonder, instead of going over the fence, it would return. I could form no theory. I saw the commercial possibilities of this place, so I put up a sign on the highway with an arrow pointing to what I call the House of Mystery. And allegedly, over his entire lifespan, since he came to the house in 1930 to his death in 1959, he performed over 14,000 scientific experiments and tests.
Did he have them published?
Not all of them, but you can buy some of his findings from the gift shop
Sweet.
for like $7.99, I think it is.
The Mystery Shack gift shop.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
So, some other theories claim that all of this science is a bogus explanation for a standard tourist trap directly off of the popular interstate that conveniently popped up following the mass production of cars. And when people considered cruising like a social thing, and people took their families cruising like on the weekends or after church on Sundays. So,
And people still go there now?
yeah, it's still open.
He died in 1959.
Mm-hmm.
So who runs it now?
I think it's someone from his family that runs it now.
Okay.
It was like inherited.
What kind of writing did he do?
Poetry.
But he stole $14,000? That was a lot of money back then.
That's a lot
Yeah,
of
so
money.
then it's also like, okay, is he just a fraud? Originally, it only cost 25 cents to get in, and now it's upwards of like $30 per person.
Okay, I mean, I'm sure that's just to cut down on. I mean, if it was still 25 cents, then it would just be a clog of people. I'm sure $30 is just to limit how much work they have to do, and
Yeah, 13 to 61, $22. Ages 5 and under for kids is free.
But don't you think it'd be easy now to figure out like the science of it
Mm-hmm.
with the tools that we have in 2025?
Right. So the mineral composition of the Gold Hill area could be responsible for the geomagnetic anomalies associated with the occurrences of the site of the vortex. Gold Hill, at the height of the mining boom in the mid to late 1800s, was most famous for its pocket mines, that would at times produce upwards of $500,000 in a few weeks. The rock from this area consisted of sphalerite, quartz, basalt, greenstone, and pyroxenite, many of which are known to interact with magnetic fields in addition to having metaphysical properties.
Yeah, so it could just be a bunch
Along
of
the
rock.
same vein, it's also theorized that remains of a meteor that had fallen ages ago lies buried underneath the house.
okay, but wasn't it not just a magnetic field? Like the golf ball was rolling differently, the baseball.
Mm-hmm. So it's like gravitational fields are different. And then it's also like people feel weird when they go there.
Liam, have you heard of this?
No.
I mean, people feel weird. That could just be like the illusion of walking into the house, though, because it's like a wonky house.
Right. Like you already know
Yeah.
ahead of time. So it could just be
Well-
like confirmation.
I felt weird going into the Little Women house.
Well, because it's old.
It's small.
And this is like, if you look at pictures, I can show you a picture, but it's like it's not cute looking. Like they kept it, I know they outfitted it so it was safe for people to go into, but it's like half a shack.
Yeah, I imagine it's really, really small.
Yeah, look it up. One also has to remember the violent history of the land in regards to the treatment and the displacement of indigenous tribes. So could the negative energy associated with the many disputes over the years leading up to 1856, in addition to the metaphysical properties of the local geology,
Ghosts.
contribute to the negative vibes often experienced by tourists, and explain oddities such as animals' aversion of the area?
I mean, if there's a ton of tourists coming in, why would the animals want to come? Like,
No,
doesn't
but
that kind of
this
just
was
feed
this
into
was like
itself?
even before. So like when explorers and miners came to the area, their horses would use to go in this space. Horses, mules, so much so that the tribes knew, don't go there.
Yeah.
So in 1930, the Medford Daily News reported that a local seance, i.e., a medium, broadcast information that it was the spirits of Indians who formerly inhabited that locality, returning to voice their protest, in their own singular manner, that we of the 20th century were trespassing upon sacred, happy hunting grounds.
But didn't you just say that even back then they knew not to go there? Because they felt weird?
Yeah,
and
but it could have been like from before then.
But like, why would they do it in a way that fuels the
capitalism?
people still staying there? And yeah, capital, like, nothing bad actually seems to have happened there after they like settled down inside of it.
Right, yeah, after like all the mining and stuff
Yeah.
happened,
I mean, but
the
you
mid
mean besides the
1850s.
landslide?
The landslide. But that's just natural.
Yeah, that's natural.
Okay, well, I mean, so could be meteor or some type of electromagnetic activity, right? Because we know animals don't like that. But that doesn't mean it's like creepy. It's probably not Indian ghosts because the timeline
I mean,
doesn't.
it could be though. I mean,
The timeline doesn't kind of match.
a lot of like popular haunted houses have to do with the energies that are residual. They're like residual hauntings.
Yeah, but our haunted houses, like, people died here, people were mistreated, people were...
Yeah. I mean, who knows what kind of skirmishes happened before all the Indians were basically told, hey, get out of here in 1856.
Yeah, but
And I'm
why
sure it
would
wasn't
be
like-
constrained to one area instead of...
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
that was a site of some major battle that's undocumented
Okay, so
or documented poorly. and we
okay,
just
so it
don't
could
know.
be a poorly documented something, but likely it's just electromagnetic whatever of the rocks. Right, that's where I'm going.
Or just a really smart, like, optical illusion. All your senses are just kind of discombobulated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like that when we go to the Enchanted Forest
Oh yeah, they have a crooked house there
and the
too.
Crooked House, right?
I mean, maybe that was, like...
But that's like very obviously the rooms you can tell, but it also has windows. Allegedly, the shack does not have windows, so
So that could definitely affect that then. If you can't see windows, you don't have, like, a frame of reference.
right.
Like being in a casino.
Yeah, something like that.
Like Percy Jackson
Something like that.
doesn't know what time of day it is, what year it is. So more far-fetched theories speculate that alien technology is responsible and was planted underneath the mystery house. That it's a spirit portal, gravitational laws are skewed, or that there's an intersection of ley lines that can explain why this natural occurrence also happens at other locations.
Okay, but that could easily be proved or disproved.
Right. So also, like, this is not the only gravitational hill that exists. There's also quite a few in California, all over. They, like, after this house appeared and, like, people were making money off of it, others kind of conveniently sprang up as well.
The money trail.
Yeah.
It technically, I guess, could be a natural occurrence if the geology was the same.
Yeah, same kind of rocks.
Yeah.
I mean, same kind of, from a mining perspective, there was a lot of mining going on all up and down the West Coast.
It was called Gold Hill. Like, they called it that for a reason.
Mom, you were saying the alien intervention could be easily explained now?
No, I just feel like the other theories.
That's more like
whatever
a
the
crazy,
conspiracy-
yeah, that's more of a conspiracy.
No, I know it's more of a conspiracy, but, like, we know how they got the building blocks to make the pyramids, and people still say aliens did it, so...
Okay, I suppose that's always going to be out there.
Well, some people may accept John Lister's scientific reasoning. Others came to visit primarily to disprove it, starting at the very beginning when all this
I'm sure, yeah.
started. So scientists and geologists came to the area in droves trying to debunk whatever pseudoscience he had claimed. And in 1930, Floyd Rush and Bill Gates, armed with various instruments, conducted a series of tests. Recorded in The Blast Mineral Theory, they found that the third and final conclusion was drawn with the assistance of a modulometer, an instrument tuned to detect any minute current or magnetic influences within the structure. This instrument failed to record such detections, proving conclusively that radium or other metallic or mineral influences were not in the near vicinity.
Okay, so my rock theory goes out the window.
Yeah,
Did you say Bill Gates?
Yes.
Probably not.
It was in 1930.
Okay, so
not
not
It was
Bill
in
Gates. Okay,
1930.
okay.
And they had nicknames. One was Einstein, the other was Edison. So the sensation while walking through the shack affects the human vertigo. The medium of balance and the sense of sight tries to override the sense of balance. Gates explained. Distortion is emphasized by an angle, and the vision of comparative objects is lost by the slant of the walls.
Yeah, so the fact that you have no windows is going to give you your brain the distortion, so your senses are off.
Yeah, because there's no like horizon point.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense to me. I was fully for the rock theory. But
I know, I believe the rock theory too, but that was quickly.
Yeah, I mean that. Just like no windows and being disoriented makes sense, but some of the stuff that the guy initially said about like throwing a ball over the fence and it coming back to you just does not
or the animals.
seem.
So animals would know
plausible.
that walls are slanted and there's no windows, and that would impact your vertigo.
Right. Well, and it's not just the house. Allegedly, it's the whole diameter. It's just most noticeable in the house. Allegedly, trees are like leaning towards the house. So it's like the whole magnetic north is kind of altered.
So people can just get out of their cars, throw a ball up in the air, and it goes somewhere not down?
I mean, you have to pay $22 to do that.
Okay, wait. I thought it was the whole area, though.
It is,
They
but
have it all fenced off?
more or less.
Well, they probably own the land.
Yeah, they own the land. So Earl Nixon, former director of the Oregon State Department of Geology and Mineral Industry, was one of the first skeptics and came to examine the site in 1938, shortly after it opened. His conclusion was that the phenomenon of the Oregon Vortex was merely an optical illusion. The vortex, he wrote, is a place without optical uniformity. The lack of planes of reference are most confusing to the human mind.
But it still doesn't explain the animals.
I mean, yeah. I don't know if anyone's brought a horse nearby in the last 100 years.
Well, and the guy could have just lied about that.
Yeah. Yeah, he could have
Made it up.
made it up to try to draw more interest
I
or
mean, he was clearly trying to make money.
yeah. So in 1939, a so-called copycat of the Mystery House popped up in Santa Cruz, California. So this was like the first copycat, titled The Mystery Spot. John Lister sued the owner for copyright of his quote-unquote idea, but allegedly withdrew the suit when he was told that the copyright on an alleged natural phenomenon of that he claimed the Mystery House was could not exist.
Yeah, okay, I dig that. Makes sense to me.
That seems more fishy. That seems more like he was
Yep.
just
More in it for the
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
Yep.
trying to make money off
Yeah.
of something that he knew.
Because he called it an
he could
idea.
take advantage of people for it, yeah.
And like he didn't invent it. He just, I don't know, took advantage. Not took advantage, but profited off the. So the oddities of this mystery spot gained public attention and was featured on Unsolved Mysteries, the History Channel, Ripley's Believe It or Not, Ghost Adventures, fictional TV shows like Supernatural, The X-Files, and more. So,
God, they made their money.
yeah.
Not all ideas are great ideas.
Well, and once again, it's not an idea.
He called it an idea.
He called it an idea, but he didn't come up with it. He just stumbled upon this. So I have some visitor reviews.
Oh, this is going to be good.
I have some visitor reviews.
True.
No mediums. Not that I know.
I
That'd be
feel all
cool.
the spirits.
No. Shoshana S. in 2014 wrote, "Vortices are really cool phenomena. I'd recommend going to the Sedona vortices. However, because the Sedona vortices are positive. There are positive ones and negative ones. In my experience, the Gold Hill vortex was a negative vortex, which might explain why horses and other animals did not travel to this part of the land. The entire time I felt even more drained than I was. I wish I got more sleep to know if this drain was caused by my lack of sleep or the vortex. However, I didn't feel this negative energy until after I walked into the vortex. I kept hydrated, so I'm thinking it has to do with the vortex. The crooked house gave me vertigo, which only enhanced being in a vortex."
Kind of sounds like she felt bad because she had vertigo.
I mean, it could be. Which is induced by the house. Catherine L. in 2015 wrote, "Worth doing once if you're in this area. The vortex itself is interesting. There are some powerful energies at work here, and you'll feel them, especially in the house. The tour itself is kind of tacky. Too much repetition, not enough content. Definitely orientated towards distracting tourists. But if you can disregard that, it is a cool spot to check out." Mai in 2017 wrote, "I was completely blown away. I wish I could work there so I can be there every day. I can't even put into words how amazing and mind-blowing mentally and physically it was. I want to figure out why there seems to be a wall-like force field you walk through. I know energy, and this is something different. I can't put my finger on it, but I want to know. Best experience of my life. I'm going to bring back everyone I can. Thank you for the best time.
Boy, I wonder if they got paid for that.
I'm glad they had fun. If that wasn't a paid review, good on them.
So I guess whether you're a believer or a skeptic, the site welcomes both to come and experience the anomalies of the vortex themselves. They even say, like, oh, if you think this is fake, like, come check it out yourself.
I'm sure, yeah. I mean, that's just $30 in their pocket.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the very first headline the Mystery House received back in 1930 by the Central Point Star says, at best, the freak of nature provides many thrills.
Yep.
Morgan told me she had gone there when I was telling her about this, and she said she went a long time ago. She said she'd seen the ball roll up the hill, and that the area is really creepy, and then it gave her the weirdest vibe. She was like a kid. It must have been like more than 15 years ago. She said, I remember the feeling. We were there closing time as we were the only ones there. I feel like even as a kid, I felt like the science was BS, but it was off-putting.
I mean, I don't know. Next time we head that way, maybe we'll give a donation.
Gotta leave a review.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess curated or not, at least people are enjoying it.
So this is what the house looks like.
Okay, it is super weird. Okay, so from believability standpoint, I mean, I think it's totally believable. It's what's happening is I'm not sure, but it's, I mean, there's plenty of evidence to say that there's something there, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give it a 7.
7? Okay.
I mean, I believe dude's a capitalist.
Yeah, 100%.
He's making money. It's just really odd that his idea popped up, and then they started popping up all over the place, and people are capitalizing off that, and then you got kind of mad and tried to sue him for taking his idea, but it's supposed to be a natural phenomenon going back like centuries or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, just like increasing the price a ton.
But also that could have to do with just cost of living,
Yeah,
cost of everything
sure,
in
but
general.
like...
But it's not like they have to do much to maintain
Well,
the property.
Yeah.
it's certainly not for education.
I mean, technically it is, but get educated on how not to fall for scams.
Potentially.
But, I mean, if people go there and have fun, I mean, there's no harm.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like good for them. $30 though.
Yeah, I guess the tours are like 45 minutes to an hour long, and the entire time the tour guide is repeating the science, but then at the same time also contradicting themselves.
Mm.
So it's like they're kind of not trained, but they say things to confuse you on purpose, so you don't necessarily
So you feel even
understand
more
it. Yeah,
out of place.
and disoriented.
Okay, I'm gonna give it like, do I believe it's real? No, I'll give it like a 2.
Okay.
Do I believe it makes money? Yeah, sure. Give it a solid 8.
I feel like I'd have to go there. Because maybe if it has like weird energy like people are claiming, then it would be more impactful.
How would you sort that out from the weird senses though?
I
Like
mean,
just the odd senses you'd feel being
No,
in a
but even-
wacky fun house.
even that one review said that it feels like you're going through a force field. Like the energy. So the house is at the center of this vortex.
So bottom line, we're going to go and leave a review. Liam, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, more along with Garrett. I mean, if there was anything like actually related to the house or the location, it's weird that nothing bad has actually happened there after whatever spirits or whatever people think are there.
Like 200 years.
Yeah. And I don't know, it's weird that they would also let hundreds of years of people make money off of that as well. I don't know.
Whoa. Only 100 years. How do you feel about the science though?
I mean,
like
I don't.
a gravitational vortex, half above the Earth, half below.
I
Caused
don't
by-
believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we don't understand gravity, but that's like,
Yeah.
It just seems like a convenient explanation for
Yeah.
what happens in the area.
If
Like
that
the
was
science.
an actual thing, it would be tested way more.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
and that's the thing. Most of the articles that are current or in the last 25 years are just about how it's a
entertainment.
roadside
Tourist,
tourist trap,
tourist
essentially.
trap.
It's not necessarily a place that people are interested in researching. And,
So Liam's not going to go do science there anytime soon.
well, and even the guy, the John Lister, he claimed he did 14,000 experiments. What was he doing?
Yeah, who knows?
Just building up
I
some
would-
fake credibility
Yeah.
to make more money.
So creepy wise though, I give it a 0. Like I'm not creeped out at all
Yeah.
by it.
Oh yeah, I'm not creeped out. But
Well-
with his experiments, I mean, he's just like baiting people to come.
Yep.
Like, oh, like if your ego's talking, like come and try to challenge it. More money for him.
Pay your money.
Yeah, if there was anything at all that was changing the gravity in the area, the government would be all over that. So, even if it was a real thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the notes and data by John Lister are available to buy from their website
That's the other thing. Yeah.
for $7.50, and it's described as a scientific analysis of the disturbance constitutes an education and subjects of interest to all. Written by the first proprietor of the Oregon Vortex. Includes pictures and diagrams.
Scientific notes from a
Non-scientific
poet?
from a non-scientific
Right, and-
person. Okay, so my creepy
you have to
factor
pay for
just
it,
went
too?
to negative.
I don't know. I feel like it could
Mumbo
be
jumbo.
creepy. I don't believe the science, but I can agree with the fact that it's probably strange. Just
Well, yeah, I
you
mean,
have
your
to take into
senses are
account
messed
like
up.
your senses. I just mean the area in general though is probably really weird, especially if you do know that like indigenous people had been there and they'd been probably killed there, like mistreated there. I don't know. I think that it's probably not energy wise the best place, and it's off of I-5.
So Liam, what's your creepy?
0.
You don't think it's creepy?
I mean, not more than it is just like being a location in a forest.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give it a 1. Potential landslide. That's about it.
Okay, so no paranormal property.
No,
No, yeah, I don't think so.
but we will
We'll
put
have
it on
to-
our list.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out.
Well, we will put it on our list when we're
Family road
driving
trip.
south.
Be sure to listen in to our next episodes, follow us on social media, and email us any stories or personal accounts you have, encounters you have, linked in the show notes. Okay, bye.